Good morning, children. Today we're going to talk about the kingdom of God. And you remember that in the atrium, we talk about different parables that Jesus used to teach us what the kingdom of God was like. And today we're going to talk about a wedding. And I just wondered if any of you have been to a wedding, or maybe you've even been involved in a wedding, and so that you know that there's lots of preparation that goes into a wedding. There's dresses to be made, and the guys have to go and get fitted for suits, and there's food to be ordered, just lots of things. Oh, and flowers to be ordered, lots of things to do to prepare for a wedding. I'm going to light our candle before we start the story. And the candle, the light of the candle, represents the light of Jesus and God. So we light the candle to remind us that God's presence is with us. Okay, I'm going to read the story from our Bible, and it's in Matthew chapter 25. Then the kingdom of God will be like this. 10 bridesmaids took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. When the foolish took their lamps, they took no oil with them, but the wise took flasks of oil with their lamps. As the bridegroom was delayed, all of them became drowsy and sleepy. But at midnight there was a shout. "Look, here is the bridegroom. Come out to meet him." Then all those bridesmaids got up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out." But the wise replied, "No, there will not be enough for you and for us. You had better go to the dealers and buy some for yourself." And while they went to buy it, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went with him into the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later, the other bridesmaids came also, saying, "Lord, Lord, open to us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I do not know you. Keep awake, therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour." Now we have some materials that I'm going to show you and to help us understand the story better. So we have 10 bridesmaids, and I'm going to pull them all out. I'm going to move this. Notice that these 2 bridesmaids, they have their oil lamps, but they do not have a flask. Now this bridesmaid, you can see the difference. She has her lamp, and then she has her flask to hold her oil, and you can see that in the back. Have another one, and she has her flask. Here's some of the ones that do not. Remember, story is called The 10 Bridesmaids. So we have 5 bridesmaids here that did not take their flask with them. And then we have 5 here that have their flask. And this is our bridegroom. Now I'm going to read the story again out of our booklet. And watch carefully, listen and watch carefully as the characters of the story move around. The reign of God, the kingdom of God, can be likened to 10 bridesmaids who took their torches and went out to welcome the groom. They're going out. Now 5 of them were foolish, while the other 5 were sensible. The foolish ones, in taking their torches, they brought no oil along, but the sensible ones took flasks of oil as well as their torches. The groom was delayed his coming, so they all began to nod and fall asleep. At midnight, someone shouted, "The groom is here! Come out and greet him!" At the outcry, all the bridesmaids woke up and got their torches ready. The foolish ones said to the sensible ones, "Give us some of your oil. Our torches are going out." But the sensible ones, they replied, "No, there may not be enough for you and us. You had better go to the dealers and buy yourselves some." While they went off to buy it, the groom arrived, and the ones who were ready went to the wedding feast with him. Then the door was barred. Later, the bridesmaids came back, the other bridesmaids came back, and they cried, "Master!" They knocked on the door. "Master, Master," they cried, "open the door for us." But he answered, "I tell you, I do not know you." So I'm going to So one of the things that we think about when we hear this story was why were the foolish bridesmaids locked out and they did not get to go to the wedding feast? Do you think it has something to do with the fact that they weren't prepared? They weren't prepared to light the way for the bridegroom. So one of the things that we want to learn from this story is that we want to be prepared, and we want to do what God would want us to do. And some of those things might be that we can grow and together and learn more about God and more about His love for us. We can learn about loving our neighbors as ourselves and doing kind things for one another. We need to be alert to the fact that Christ is coming, and we need to be praying for one another, and we praying for ourselves. We need to be praying that we can escape from temptation, and we need to pray for ourselves that we will have strength in the hard times, and that we will have the will and the strength to stand up for ourselves when we need to. Another way, this brings it really closer to home, is like, let's think about the bridesmaids, and they had their oil lamp and their flask. And one way that you can think about this, and you can apply this to your life, might be like when you are in school or you are going to school, and the teacher has instructed you to bring paper and pencil to school. Well, some children, they will really be prepared, and they'll bring their paper and pencil to school. But some might forget the pencil, and then they'll be there with just the paper, and you might ask one of your classmates if you can use their pencil, but they won't be able to let you use it because then they wouldn't have a pencil. So there are, ways that we can think about this, and ways we can apply this to our lives. And I hope that you will talk about this story with your family after watching this, and you all can help each other figure out ways that you can be always prepared. Thank you.